You know, I've been noticing we have fake news out there. Microsoft LSD. We got the Commie News Network that's been exposed by Project Veritas. Can't wait to expose. James O'Keefe exposes Microsoft LSD. But also we have people that, well, were once for the T-Man or not. And I've addressed this before. All right, I've said this. If you don't have the hardcore proof, you can't do the guilt by association thing. Because there's a lot of people everybody associates with says hi or hello to, might even go to a party over their house, and you don't know the dark side or the secret life that they're having. All right, so with that said, I'm going to connect the dots one more time and show you that God has a hand in this, and it's God that selected Trump. All right, so if you got a beef with Trump being in office, then you got a beef with God. See on the opposite side of the shock treatment of this intro, and guess what? There's a certain someone that's really ticked off. So, yeah, you'll be listening to that too. Coming up, Ma and her input. Coming up, she's at it. Separating the truth from the lies. Coming at you from underneath the Noonan, Georgia climate engineered skies. You're about to receive a dose of the shock treatment. I got a question for you, and I think Ma does too, because she's about had it. How is it that Trump is supposed to be such a bad guy, as some people are saying, which is fake news, but yet witches want to plot a binding spell against the President Trump for Friday? Explain that one, or for Halloween, I should say, also. Explain that. This ain't the first time that they've done that. The witches cast spells on witches. Do witches cast spells on people that are on the dark side, that are on the evil side? That doesn't make any sense, but that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting from the other side, the libtards. They're saying stupid things like that. Oh, he's one of them. He's every bit as crooked. He's this, he's that. But meanwhile, you got the real evil bastards. These freaking witches that plan on putting a binding spell, which is what else do they like to bind? It doesn't even make sense against President Trump on a particular day, and I think even on Halloween. So I got the article right here. As if battling House Democrats' impeachment inquiry against him, which is fake inquiry bullshit, wasn't enough, President Donald Trump will next have to face a... Look at this. You see right there, cast by thousands of witches. I guess it was this is not too long ago, but then as Halloween approaches at the end of the month, several media outlets are reporting witches who oppose Trump are planning to cast that right there. All right, which is really, it's really very lighting the loafers to be doing a binding spell. What is that? Are they into that sadomasochist thing? So now they're trying to project what they like onto other people in the form of a spell. It's absolutely insane. But then again, if he's such a bad guy, why would these evil, wicked bastards want to do that? Put a spell on him? Doesn't make any sense. But this is what we're getting from fake news. They want to say he's one of them. He's one of them. He's also all part of the charade. Well, he's so bad. He's so bad. How is he bad? Because he's got some people leveling allegations against him. Because he knew Epstein at one point. I mean, didn't he dump Epstein? So, and if things were going on in Mar-a-Lago, I got a question. If it was so blatantly obvious, did people that rented rooms there, did they know? Or was it really well hidden? That even so much so that not even the owner knew. So, to be guilt by association, I need more proof than that. All right? Than someone attending his establishment, his hotel, whatever, his resort. But you see right there, these witches working to cast a spell, and it ain't gonna work. Because you know who's in charge? These jackasses. Not only that, God's in charge, but not only that, I was gonna say, the thing is, let's see, what they're doing, these wicked, evil bastards, these witches, they're doing the work of the devil. They're actually digging their own grave by doing this. They're digging their own grave. We got evangelicals, we got Christians that are praying for Trump and praying for this country. And if you're going against Trump, it sounds like you're going against the country because he's the best we got. You got something else better? I didn't think so. So take a seat, all right, and get off his jock. That's all I'm going to say. All right, that goes to any fake news outlets out there because I can't stand them. Microsoft LSD, the Commie News Network, just to name a few. But I'm going to turn it over to someone But you know, these witches want to cast a spell on Trump, especially again for Halloween, which isn't going to work because God's in charge. Can you tell them how God's in charge? In the 9 o'clock hour, we prayed, all the Christians, and we didn't even know a church. We did not even know that a church had called upon all Christians to pray at that time.
Well,
we just did it.
In 2016, you're talking about the night of the election. We took a vacation trip to up in the mountains. And we went and settled in at the hotel, and then we were hungry, so we went out to look for a restaurant open, and all we could find was the Huddle House, which is like Waffle House, which is similar to IHOP, if you don't know what a Huddle House is. So anyway, what happened, we met some people there, and that were waiting on us, and I started talking about Trump, and Mark and I were talking about Trump with them and the election, and all that other stuff, and then we met some other women there who happened to be from Savannah.
One of them was.
And one of the husbands, one of the wives that we met, they were all women. Her husband was
a state representative down there in that district.
State representative in Savannah district. So he was in with the Republican Party. So we started talking about how Trump is falling behind in the
electoral
votes,
college,
the electoral votes, and was so upset because we wanted him to win. So I turned around and said, you know what? Let's all stand up together, form a circle, and start praying for him. Well, this might have been about maybe 8:30 to 9 o'clock, somewhere. I can't remember because it was in 2016. But the time was important because unbeknownst to us, we had no idea that the Christians, churches, were asking the world, the United States and the world, I believe it was the world, not just the United States, to all pray for Trump at a certain time. I think it was 9 o'clock, 9 hour or 8:30 hour. I think it was a 9 o'clock hour to pray for him to win the election. And I had no idea, neither did Mark. And it so happens that when I said let's hold hands and pray, it was the same exact time the world was praying, and we didn't know it.
We didn't know it.
And all of a sudden we left, a few minutes after that, we left Huddle House, went back to hotel. It was like a block away, across the street, whatever, and put on the TV, we're listening, and all of a sudden we found out that about 9 o'clock, the time of the prayer, like maybe it might have been 9:01, his electoral votes were picking up.
Yeah.
And getting bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. And he won.
Yeah.
He won. And you want to know why? Because the world prayed for him at the same time. And God answered our prayers. You got it?
Yeah.
And therefore, God would never have a wicked person to answer our prayers. But he would put someone there and point them to take control and help those and fight the wickedness.
You got that, you fake
And
news?
that's why everyone's against him, because he was not for their wicked agenda on the far left Democrat side. You got it? All right? He's making everything better. If you are in a game, and part of this game, as some of you claim, which are idiots, and some of you who were for Trump, or were you for Trump, or was that an act?
It
makes me wonder. And that all of a sudden you're against him, or is it because you're getting kicked off from Facebook and YouTube left and right?
It's extra insurance policy to stay
because
on.
you were for Trump, and so now you're changing it so you can stay on. That means you're selling him short and selling our country short, and you're a piece of shit, in plain English, okay? You're a devil's advocate then. You're a piece of shit, a low-life piece of scum. If you could sell your country just to stay on Facebook and YouTube to say what you gotta say, and if that's not the case and you're just against them, you're still the same piece of shit.
Fake news.
Okay? Your fake news bullshit
so
that
evil,
you
would God
get.
put him in office?
Just like,
If
I
he's so
saw
bad?
something the other day and I couldn't believe it. A robbery in Verizon store, and by a couple of black guys, they were robbing and looting and everything, and somebody was doing fake news trying to say, oh, they were doing this, they were attacking Verizon because Verizon's part of the 5G and they didn't want 5G. That is bullshit. They were just doing a robbery. Okay? That's the same liar who's lying around about Trump, making innuendos and all kinds of shit because, well, if Trump we're so good. Why is he allowing 5G and why is he allowing that? Because that's not an immediate right now. He's got everything thrown at him, bombarded, one after another.
Never been president.
Yeah,
what the fuck
and he was never even president before. He's not a politician. You don't want to even claim that title as a politician. But he has to, because he is now, but he wasn't then. He's in a learning stage. He's learning everything the first 3 years. Okay? So he had to deal with North Korea. He's dealing with China. He's dealing with Russia, fake news, and the friggin' far left trying to impeach him and all kinds of shit. Since he came down the elevator, they wanted to impeach him.
Shit too.
You damn asshole.
Bastards,
and what about the witches? Witches that are praying against Trump. So if they're witches praying against Trump,
that should tell you
that he's not with the wicked bastards, because the witches are wicked and they're with the wicked bastards. You got it? And the only reason why they're after Trump is because they're really after us, and they want us. Okay? Jackass, they want us. Damn asshole. And that's why they're after Trump, because see, all these years and decades they loved him. Oprah loved him. This one loved him. CNN loved him. And then when he ran for president, they still liked him. But when the minute how's that? And let me tell you about that Epstein shit. Like some of you trying to link Trump with Epstein. You know, that's a lot of crap, and you know it. Epstein was friends with Trump, short-lived. Trump didn't know how he was, what he was doing. And as soon as he found out that something was up and something wasn't right and he was no good, he gave Epstein the boot. And he stopped bothering with him. You got it? Nobody knows anybody. You could be friends with someone for a couple of years and not know their background if they're an acquaintance. It ain't like he hung out with him every day for years. All right? So 24 hours a day. You don't know who the hell is right and who's wrong. Doing wrong behind your back. And as far as any children being imported, exported, or what was it from, where's it that Margot? What's the name? And as far as any children being involved with the Mar-a-Lago, that could be bullshit, children being involved, from Epstein getting children going in and out of, through Mar-a-Lago without Trump knowing it. He doesn't have to know about it. Don't you have other people there? Supposing I was there renting a room, am I going to know about it, you asshole? Does he live at Mar-a-Lago, or does he go there only for 3, 4 days, 5 days, and he's all over the place? All right? He was a very famous man. He didn't stay in one spot, asshole. You got it? And so you don't know someone's character if you only seen them nonchalant, and once in a while you eat with them, you have a couple of drinks and stuff like that. Doesn't mean you know their background and everything they do, you asshole. Do we know what you do? Now, look at you. I used to like you. I used to like some of you, right? I trusted you. And then all of a sudden, I found out you're talking bad about Trump and trying to brainwash people like fake news does and go against Trump. Right? Now, all this while, I thought you were on the up and liked him because that's the way you sounded for the first 3 years. And now you're changing. I would say first 2 years, and now you're changing. So I didn't really know you, did I? But now I got to know you. I'm giving you the boot, you stupid ass. All right? Just the way Trump gave Epstein the boot. So don't even associate them. You know, when he found out that, not about kids, but he found out he was doing no good shit. I don't know if it was women screwing around with a prostitute. I don't know what the hell it was. But he didn't like his character anymore. And that's as far as it goes. So he got rid of him, gave him the boot, and threw him out of his property. You got it, asshole?
Well, there you go. You pissed Ma off, some of you fake newsers out there. She's watching. She sees. All right? And she has a voice. She's allowed to talk. And again, God put Trump in office. God allowed Obama to be in office. Turned us over to that POS commie. This nation was teetering on becoming a socialist country. All right? But, that night, a lot of evangelicals started praying when Trump announced he was going to be president and praying for him and laying hands on him. Okay? All right? So, fake news needs to get off his jock. Okay? There's other fish to fry. There's other things to do. And as a matter of fact, I don't see you having a better choice for president. So he's going to be running for president. And I don't think he's going to be impeached. Well, they might try to pull that stunt, but he's not going to be removed from office. As a matter of fact, there's a pastor by the last name of Jeffries that said Trump 2020 landslide, all right, that God told him. So I'm going to take the pastor's word for it. I'm going to take, the fact that all the Christians prayed for him and his electoral college started going in his favor all of a sudden. Not a coincidence. There are no coincidences. God put him in office, okay? And God's not going to put a person like Trump in office to be a wicked person on purpose and do bad things, and then have evangelicals lay hands on him, pray with him. He went to the wall in Jerusalem. Remember that, and prayed? I'm not saying he's perfect. He's not. But are you? And, the fact that we Christians prayed that night, that fateful night, and God answered the prayers. All right? So God has his hand and say in all this. All right? So he's done some good things, and I went over that. Go to whitehouse.gov. Okay? He's done quite a bit of good things. Is the wall being built? I just showed a video the other night on live Facebook. The wall's being built. It showed the freaking machine. What was it? Not a crane. I don't know what you call it, but the wall is being built right before my very eyes. All right. Plus, there's 27,000, I think Trump said, Mexican troops on the border to stop to help stop the illegal invasion. Illegal aliens coming over. Are they still coming over? Maybe some, but it's slowing the bleed until that freaking wall gets built, and it's going to take time. All right. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither is the friggin' wall. If you want the wall to be built faster, maybe you should get off your rusty dusty and make yourself useful and go down there and volunteer. But until then, I mean, it is what it is. All right? And as far as Hillary not being in jail, because I think he said that right there, it looked like it. Well, that's a horse of a different color because, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's a work in progress. And there's more to getting rid of Hillary, as he promised to put her in jail, than meets the eye. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know if they threatened his life if he took to go forward with this of some sort and gave him some code language that he picked up on. You don't know those things, jerk. J-O. You know what J-O means? Jerk off. So if I call you Joe, that's what I mean. All right? So you don't know anything about that. What's going on behind the scenes as far as that's concerned. Maybe during that time, he thought he could put her in jail. Maybe he still plans on doing it. All right? And so I'm looking forward to him another 4 years. About the 5G, does he again, Joe? Does he know about the detriments of, or is he being advised because he has advisors and then ill-advising him about it? They're telling him it's wonderful, and he goes, "Okay, wonderful, make us number one in the world," but not knowing the detriments. All right, okay. And another thing is, as far as the chemtrails and the vaccines and all that, I thought vaccines were wonderful too until I figured it out one day. After 4 years of taking them, when I was at Little Debbie's, I took the flu shot because the nurse's station gave you the free flu shot, and what the heck did I know? And I was perpetually sick for 5 months every year for the last 4 years of my career there. And I went through the Big D, I don't mean Dallas, and I fell back home, as the Alabama song goes, with 3 kids. And I said, I'm not going to take that flu shot anymore. Ask me how many times I got sick. 0. All right, so I figured it out. A lot of people have not figured it out. There's a lot of people that claim to be educated, which appear to be in many ways. I have a friend that's a cop. He thinks, ex-cop, he thinks that vaccines are wonderful. All right, because I think his wife works for Big Farm. They're not wonderful. I went over that. But does Trump know that? Does he know Section 13 of the pamphlet? Has he been seeing that? Nobody has. Virtually, very little people have seen that pamphlet that goes with the vaccines that tells you they're not tested for carcinogenic, DNA mutagenic, or infertility potential. All right, so before you go blaming, why this, why that, why this, why don't you start using a little common sense, take a breather, take a step back, and go after the real true bastards. Go after these witches. Go after the witches. Go after the friggin', the fake news, Vox, the Slate, the Salon, the Microsoft LSD, the Commie News Network, things like that. Why don't you do that? Do something good for the cause, all right? And try to get Trump's attention with 5G and tell him about the detriments. So, I mean, send him a video. Send him a video. See if you can watch it about it, all right? Without attacking him. And say, look, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. All right? And also the chemtrails. You can do that too. All right? But, God put him in office. We already laid that out for you. It's not that hard to figure out. And witches don't cast spells on evil people. They're already evil. They don't need a binding spell, all right? Doesn't even make any sense. But they would do that to a person that's doing good. Or is a decent person that they don't like. All right? That's how it works. And hexes and shit. Evil bastard. Now, these assholes don't know it, but they're actually working against themselves when they do shit like that. Jackasses. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I think Ma gave it a shock treatment. So we'll see you next time on future shock treatment. We'll see what the final one of the week is gonna be about. But this is gonna take a while to upload because I'm on hotspot. So how to get this uploaded right now. All right. So breaking news: thousands of witches plot a spell against Trump. Nothing new. We have fake news attacking him. Witches, but you want to sit there and say he's such a bad person, terrible person. That doesn't even make shit for sense. All right. It makes no sense at all. All right. Until next time you see the shock treatment. Unbelievable.